Finally, a little bit of contrast on this table, but look, it's the Brocs. If you've seen any of my past videos, you know that I've been a fan of Adrenalins for a little bit now. This is, I think, my third pair. These are the Adrenaline 22s, and yeah, these are definitely way too worn. It was time to get a new pair, and I was really excited because I've seen so many reviews of the Adrenaline 24s. So many positive reviews, so many people saying that Brooks finally has a good, stable running shoe with enough cushion. That is really one of the complaints that I had with this shoe, is that, you know, it is a stability shoe. That's kind of the whole point of the Adrenalins, but I don't know, especially with around the heel, this is really, really hard. It's very, very firm. It's not very forgiving. And I know that they are boosting their whole nitrogen infusion, all that stuff to put some more cushion into their shoes. So I was really excited when I got my hands on a pair of these, some Adrenaline 24s. Oh no! Ah! Cool box, by the way. I love the design. You can't really see it, but look at that. I love the design. I really like that Brooks makes a whole community about it, because the running community is a very, very supportive group. But yes, these are mine. I bought these, paid for them with my hard-earned dollars. These are the Adrenaline 24s. I gotta look up the colorway. What was the colorway? Time Black and Pelican. I'm assuming that this is supposed to be the Pelican, or maybe this is. I didn't know that that was the color of a Pelican, but now I know. That is the one thing straight off the bat that I really didn't like about these shoes. I hated the colorways. This was the only colorway that I was really a big fan of. I don't know, I like the green. I'm a big fan of green. I don't think I've ever had a green running shoe, so hey, I figured, you know, why not? Maybe I'll get a little bit of Pelican in there. I'm not sure. I'm assuming that that's what this is. That's the color of a Pelican. Now you know. I've done a couple of workouts in these bad boys now, and man, these are so much better than these right here. I understand that my old ones were worn and you shouldn't have a pair of running shoes for, you know, 2 years, but these are just so much better. The cushioning right here, so much more forgiving. The insides, nice and padded, so soft. All of those positive reviews that you've seen of Brooks, especially the Adrenaline 24s, are absolutely true. So for me, I have something called plantar fasciitis, which means that the heel of my foot kind of becomes, I don't know, it cramps up almost. It really does when I run, especially when I'm trying to push really hard or trying to run really fast. It'll really, really bother me. And I find a lot with shoes that aren't very supportive that it really aggravates this injury. There are ways that you can kind of strengthen your foot, that you can, I don't know, circumvent the issues that kind of come with it. But really the best thing to do is to get a nice, stable running shoe that will support you and give your foot the cushion that it needs when you're running. Especially if you have an old pair of very worn running shoes like these guys right here. By the way, if your Achilles ever hurts when you're running, try a new pair of running shoes. I know that they're very expensive and we'll get to that, but one of the strangest issues that I had when I first started running was that my Achilles would always hurt and I never knew why. And then I realized the running shoes that I had were like 5 years old. So that will probably be what it is if it isn't some sort of underlying condition that you might have, or maybe you need a different pair of stability running shoes. But yeah, I was super excited when I got these. The guy that I talked to at the running store, he kind of made a strange remark. He said that the Adrenalins were one of the biggest sellers that they've had for many, many years. But within the past 2 years, they really haven't sold a ton of Adrenaline running shoes. They've sold a lot of Brooks, but not a lot of these guys, the Adrenalins. People are starting to opt for wider toe boxes. They're starting to opt for something that's a bit lighter, something that's maybe not as cushioned, because as humans, we need that space in the toe box especially. And if you're a runner and you have problems with your foot, that could also be another issue, is that they're a little bit too tight. And that is one of the complaints right off the bat that I had with these guys. These are, especially right here, and right here, they're too tight. I've seen a couple of other people have that complaint. And I don't know, like Brooks are typically really true to size. These are a 9.5. And it feels almost like my heel wants to slip out of these every time I go running with them. It could be because there's a little bit more spacing right here. The padding is a little bit thicker than I'm used to, and it just feels like it's just gonna slip out. But yeah, I don't know what it is. It just, they feel like they're about to slip out every time I run with them or I do any sort of speed work in them. And that kind of brings me to another complaint that I had with these guys, and not just these Brooks running shoes by every other manufacturer. These are $140, and that isn't a ton as far as running shoes are concerned, but that is so much money. I remember the first pair of running shoes that I got, they were Asics, they were $80. They lasted for about a year or two. They were pretty good quality. They weren't too bad. And I felt like then that was a fair price for some running shoes. But the price of everything obviously has gone up, and running shoes are no exception. $140 for a pair of running shoes is just, it's way too much. It really is. And that's just kind of the norm now. Running shoes are $120, $110, $140. Some running shoes, like some Nikes, are going for $160, $180. I don't mean to blaze past the negatives, but that's really all the negatives that I had to say about these shoes. Let's get into the positives. As far as stability shoes are concerned, these are very light compared to especially these guys right here. A lot of times with support shoes, you get to feel, I don't know, a little bit clunky. It doesn't feel very fast when you're doing speed work with them because they are a very supportive shoe. But these guys, I mean, they are so light. They are very bouncy. They're very reactive when you hit the pavement with them. They're very breathable too. I was doing a workout with these in an indoor track, and sometimes, you know, your feet can get a little bit sweaty, they can get a little bit nasty. I wasn't feeling that way at all with these guys. Sometimes with running shoes, they can get worn right around here and it can start to cut your heel. There's so much padding right here that I don't really know if that's going to happen. If it is going to wear, I'm worried that it's going to start to wear in here, and then it's going to start to wear actually in the insole, like right around here. This is going to sound really silly too, but I really like the laces. They're nice and thick. They feel like they're not going to just break in half whenever I tie them. These are a super, super good pair of running shoes. If you can afford them, I would highly recommend them. I know it's a little bit boring for a video for me to say, yeah, you should get them. They're a lot like, you know, the other reviewers say. They're just really, really good. But I mean, that's kind of the conclusion that I drew. I was really researching the heck out of these before I bought them because, again, it's a lot of money. But really, I've done 3 workouts in them. I've gone on a couple runs. I highly, highly recommend these shoes. Also, if you're going to get them, please get them from a local store. Please get them from a local running store. The guy that I was talking to just happens to be the boss of the running store that I always go to, and he was really appreciative that I ordered them through him. I had to order these online because they didn't have the color that I wanted. Again, I am not a fan of the colors that they release with these. Yeah, I know they're going to be really appreciative if you go in there and you want to do your business with a local shop. But yeah, that's it. Want to do a quick little review for the Brooks Adrenaline 24s. If you made it this far, I really do appreciate it. A like goes a very long way. And until next time, I'll see you guys soon.